Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now, all was quiet as the creatures watched the men and women and wondered why they had come. The foresters stopped, pointed to the great Kapok tree. The women and men took the axes they carried and struck the trunk of the tree. The sounds of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. The men and women wiped off the sweat that ran down their faces and necks.
Whack, chop, whack, chop.
Soon the foresters grew tired and they sat down to rest at the foot of the great Kapok tree. Before they knew it, the heat and the hum of the forest had lulled them to sleep. The tree sloths began to move down the trunk of the big tree. Many boa constrictors lived in the Kapok tree. They slithered down its trunk to where the men and women were sleeping. They looked at the gash the axes had made in the tree. Then the huge snakes slid very close to them and hissed in their ears.
Señors, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is our home, where generations of our ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down.
Bees buzzed in the sleeping forester's ears.
Señor, our hive is in this Kapok tree, and we fly from tree to tree and flower to flower, collecting pollen. And this way we pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see all living things depend on one another.
A troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the Kapok tree. They chattered to the sleeping men and women.
Señor, we have seen the ways of men. You chop down one tree and then come back for another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold their earth in place. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away, and the forest will become a desert.
A few toucans and macaws flew down from the canopy. The tree sloths were still plodding along. Just then, some bright and small tree frogs hopped along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, they piped in the forester's ears. Several jaguars had been sleeping along a branch in the middle of the tree. Because their spotted coats blended into the dappled light and the shadows of the understory, no one had noticed them. Now they jumped down and padded silently over to the sleeping men and women. They growled in their ears.
Senor, this Kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will we find our dinner?
Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. The anteaters had said to the sleeping foresters,
Senor, you were chopping down this tree with no thought for the future. And surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends upon what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. How does one not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees?
Many children from the Yanomamo tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over to the sleeping foresters. The children murmured in their ears,
Senor, when you awaken, please look upon all of us with new eyes. The
kapok tree. Tree porcupines swung down from branch to branch. The porcupines whispered to the men and women.
Senors, do you know what we animals and humans need in order to live? Oxygen. And senors, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. And if you cut down the forest, you will destroy that which gives us all life.
The three-toed sloths had begun climbing down from the canopy when the men and women first appeared. Only now did they reach the ground, plodding ever so slowly. Over to the sleeping men and women, they spoke in their deep and lazy voices.
Senors, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, on what would you feast your eyes?
The foresters awoke with a start, and before them stood the rainforest children, and all around them staring were the creatures who depended upon this great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were. The men and women, they looked about, and they saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright lights glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great kapok tree. They could smell the fragrant perfume of their flowers, and they felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor. But they heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The men and women stood. They picked up their axes, they swung back their arms as though to strike the tree, and suddenly they stopped. They turned and looked at the animals and children. They hesitated. Then they dropped their axes